So today we're talking about Stacy Kiebler. I just thought that I'll just do it because I just got in a Funko Pop and I walked past it the other day and I was like, oh, that's the next video I'm going to do. It's just about her. Mainly because I don't think she gets spoken about quite a lot compared to other female wrestlers from the 90s. So she's a retired professional wrestler, cheerleader, dancer and an actress and a model. She's best known for tennis in WCW and WWE. She began a professional wrestling career as part of the Nitro Girls in WCW. She quickly moved on to more prominent roles in the company as the manager, Miss Hancock, as well as a relationship with Dave Flair and a pregnancy angle. After WCW was purchased by WF in 2001, she moved to the new company during the Attitude Era, using a real name and taking part of the Invasion storyline. Also managing the Dudley Boys. Kiebler also managed Tess and Scott Steiner before her departure to WWE in 2006. She was affiliated with the Hurricane and Rosie, nicknamed Super Stacy. She was a contestant on Dancing with the Stars Season 2 and was placed third. She also appeared on ABC series such as What About Brian, George Lopez and October Road, as well as the 100th episode of CBS sitcom How I Met Your Mother as a bartender. And on the US network show Psych, Kiebler also modelled, appearing in both Maxim and Stuff magazine. She was also considered a sex symbol and is known for her unusually long legs. She is also best known as both the legs of WCW and legs of WWE. During Kiebler's time at Dancing Stars, Judge Bruno Tonellini nicknamed her the Weapon of Mass Seduction. She also was inducted to the WWE Hall of Fame in March 27th, 2023. Stacy Ann Marie Kiebler was born October 14th, 1979 in Rosedale, Maryland. The daughter of Patricia and Gary Kiebler, beginning at the age of 3, Kiebler took ballet, jazz and tap dancing classes at Jean Cattell Studio of Dance in Dundalk, Maryland. She went to St. Clement Mary Hofbauer School in Rosedale for her schooling. In 1990, Kiebler won the title of Miss Maryland Preteen after competing for the title in the Tim Omnium and went to win the National Miss Preteen crown after attending Catholic School of Baltimore, an all-girls school. She attended Towson University and studied mass communication. She attended a university on a partial scholarship and had a 3.7 grade point average. Kiebler also had minor parts in movies such as Pecker and Liberty Heights, as well as small modelling jobs. Kiebler became a cheerleader for the Baltimore Ravens football team when she turned 18. Kiebler began watching wrestling with her boyfriend at the time, Chris Cumberland. She also can be seen in the crowd on episode of Nitro in 1997 and the Starrcade 1998 pay-per-view before television title match, dancing in the NWA Wolfpack t-shirt. In September 1999, she entered a nationwide contest that was held by WCW to find a new member of the Nitro Girls dance troupe, which was organised to attempt to boost the show's declining ratings. As a total of 300 women participated in the contest, the results were decided by a series of polls on WCW's website, which narrowed down to the field of 8 finalists. Kiebler was declared the winner of the contest after receiving the most online votes out of the 8 finalists, and she was given the spot on the dance troupe along with $10,000 prize. After winning, her winning routine was watched by 4.4 million viewers. Kiebler performed the dance routines every week on WCW's flagship show and Monday Nitro under the name Sky. By 2000, Kiebler was appearing on WCW as a Nitro girl, attending school full-time and cheering for the Baltimore Ravens. As she gained a bigger role and became a heel valet with with the new name Miss Hancock, her first role under this name was briefly serving the associate for the tag team Lanny Lane and Lodi, dubbed the Star Standards and Practices, despite wearing business suits. Her character was known to climb the top of the announce tables and dance essentially. It was also during this period that she began using what would become her trademark ring entrance, slowly putting on a 42-inch leg through a second tier rope, pausing to let the crowd momently see her panties underneath the incredible short skirts. At 5'11", Kiebler was most of the tallest woman in WWE roster between 2001 and 2006. During 2000s, she dated Dave Flair, both on and off screen, who was already involved in an on-screen relationship with Daphne. Ms. Hancock set her eyes on Flair and ended up stealing him away from Daphne and continued to torment the women whose boyfriends she stole. And the two would feud throughout the summer of 2000. This led to Kiebler in an in-ring debut at Bash at the Beach in a wedding gown match, which she lost after they removed her own gown. Hancock briefly feuded with Kimberly Page, but the storyline ended abruptly when Page quit the company. Kiebler and Flair began a feud with Misfits in Action stable, including mud wrestling, singles matches against Major Guns and at New Blood Rising. During the match, she kicked in the stomach, and she was revealed to be pregnant the next night, to begin a new angle for herself and Flair. The two proposed endings to storylines which were either Ric Flair or Vince Russo to be the father of the child. The angle, however, ended prematurely, revealed that pregnancy was to be false, broke up with Dave Flair and taken off the television. Stacey returned in 2001. She dropped the name Miss Hancock and went by her real name. On an edition of Nitro, Kiebler revealed Shawn Stacey as her baby and continued her role as a heel manager, siding with Stacey. Shawn and Stacey would feud with Bam Bam Bigelow, with the evil Stacey using underhand tactics to help Stacey win the two matches from a series of 3, including on the final edition of Nitro 2 weeks later on March 26th. When WCW was purchased by WWF in 2001, Kiebler signed with Warner. Contract was bought by WWF. Stacey made her debut on an episode of SmackDown when then face Shane McMahon brought her to the ring to distract then heel Rhino, causing him to lose the match. Not long after, she turned into a heel character as part of the Alliance. Stacey showed herself to be an evil bean girl that had a sadistic side, as she loved watching other people's pain and misfortune and regularly enjoyed mocking them by pointing and laughing. She originally teamed with real-life friend, then heel Tori Wilson, and the pair feuded with Trish Stratus and Lita. During the feud, the 4 wrestlers competed in the first ever tag team bra and panties match at the Invasion pay-per-view, which Trish and Lita won by stripping Stacey and Wilson down to their bra and panties. After this, Tori moved on targeting Jacqueline, and they were shown backstage enjoying watching Jacqueline cry over elimination of Shadrick McGee from Tough Enough. Stacey and Tori defeated Jacqueline in a handicap match on Raw with the help of Ivory. On Heat, before SummerSlam, Stacey, along with Tori and Ivory, brutally attacked Lita backstage by injuring her knee with the intent of preventing her competing against them. Later that night, Stacey had a brief reunion with Shawn Stacey and Shawn Elias with Taz as they battled the likes of Spike Dudley and Tajiri. Stacey found amusing how these short men were told Tori that their height made them less than men. Tori had begun dating Tajiri at the time. This caused an evil Stacey to begin an on-screen rivalry with her former friend. The feud started a couple mixed tag team involving the women and including Stacey sneak attack Tori backstage on an episode of Raw. As WCW and ECW was nearing its end, the Invasion was nearing its end, Kiebler began the manager of the heel Dudley Boys. She made an appearance, her first appearance in this role, on October 1st, 2001 episode of Raw. It was named the Duchess of Dudleyville. During this time, Stacey continued to show her sadistic side, as she took great pleasure in watching Tori Wilson and Spike Dudley get driven to violently through tables. Particularly enjoyed being one to personally give the orders to Dudley Boys to put through Tori through a table. Stacey couldn't hide her joy at seeing Tori suffer at the feet and laughed at the sight. A few days later on SmackDown, Stacey watched with glee as the Dudley Boys threw Spike outside the ring through a table, as commentator Michael Roll acknowledged how wicked Stacey and called her evil. Tori would return a couple of weeks later and get her revenge and gave Kiebler a wedgie. Then fantasized her on the episode of SmackDown. She would then defeat Kiebler in the first ever lingerie match and wrestled in lingerie at No Mercy. Kiebler made her WrestleMania debut at WrestleMania X8 alongside the Dudleys. Kiebler's role with the Dudleys came to abrupt end during Raw after WrestleMania when she was powerbombed through a table after accidentally costing them the match. She then set her sights on WWE Women's Championship at Judgment Day, facing Trish Stratus and losing effort. She faced Stratus several more times in succeeding weeks, but she never won the match against her. Kiebler was originally drafted to SmackDown in 2002, where she immediately set her eyes on the man in charge, WWE Chairman Vince McMahon. McMahon was ready to hire another attractive woman until Kiebler and Jordan performed a seductive table dance in the ring to successfully become McMahon's personal assistant. As well as his on-screen mistress, she also frequently showed flirting, making out with him in backstage segments. During this time alongside the boss, she lied that the young rookie Randy Orton had forced himself on her, which caused Orton to be punished with the match against mean veteran Hardcore Holly. A few weeks later, she sat at ringside and enjoyed watching rookie Randy Orton get beaten up some more, this time by Tess. She also had a personal ringside view of Triple H was about ambushed on 6-on-1, beat down by McMahon's henchman. The sadistic Stacey looked and grinned with pleasure as Triple H was beaten and bloodied in an assault. She also continued her rivalry with Tori Wilson during this time period and tried to throw Tori off stage, but referee saved Tori just in time, stopped Stacey's evil plan and from being a success. Her time with McMahon came to an end when Stephanie McMahon became general manager. Dawn Marie made her debut on SmackDown as McMahon's legal assistant, who competed with Kiebler for McMahon's affections. A key storyline for Kiebler's on-screen character occurred as when she left SmackDown for Raw. Kiebler made her official debut on Raw until August 12, 2002, and immediately began feuding with the women there. She was given the role of being a special guest referee for a couple of occasions and used the opportunity to abuse her power. Stacey liked counting quickly when her fellow bad girls were making pin attempts and counted slowly for fan favourites. In another role as special referee, Stacey was put in charge of the match between Tess and D'Lo Brown. At the start of the match, Stacey slapped D'Lo in the face, hindering his attempt to win the match with slow counts. After D'Lo argued with Stacey about her actions, he was smashed in the face by a big boot with Tess, and Stacey thoroughly enjoyed watching. She made a quick free count to help Phil and Tess win the match. This would begin an on-screen pairing between her and Tess, which would last the remainder of 2002 and most of 2003. She enjoyed watching him rip apart fan favourites such as superhero Hurricane and would use her deviantness to help him win matches as when she would deliver low blows to Goldust. As Tess' on-screen marketing agent, she came up with an idea for Tess that should call his fans testicles, cut his hair and reshape his image. This caused a gimmick to become more popular in the audience, and the couple switched from being villains to the fan favourites in November of 2002. This will be Stacey's first time as a babyface in WWE, and in spring of 2003, Tess, however, began verbally abusing Kiebler when he would who started managing Scott Steiner. After a few months of build-up, Kiebler finally left Tess for Steiner. Steiner defeated Tess for Kiebler's services at Bad Blood. Kiebler seemed happy as Steiner's new manager, as the two alluded to having more than a professional relationship. Tess, however, continued to harass Kiebler and Steiner until Steiner accepted a rematch with Stacey's services on the line. Tess won the match after faking a leg injury and then blindsiding Steiner with a big boot. After the match, all set for Unforgiven, with the stipulation that if Tess won, then he would not only retain Kiebler's services but acquire Steiner's services as well. During the match, Kiebler's interference backfired and Tess won the match. Steiner turned heel by attacking Kiebler after interference in his match. For a time, Tess and Steiner worked as a tag team, sharing their services with Kiebler as their on-screen sex slave. The storyline finally ended when General Manager Mick Foley freed Kiebler from her obligation contract with Tess and Steiner by temporarily firing them. Kiebler was chosen to record a track on WWE's Originals. She and WWE music producer Jim Johnston recorded the song Why Can't We Just Dance for the album, which was placed in a feud involving Tori Wilson and the babyface Sable, both of whom recently posed for Playboy cover. Kiebler aligned with Miss Jackie, neither of them whom posed for the magazine, claiming that they deserved Playboy over Sable and Wilson. Kiebler and Jackie challenged Sable and Wilson for the tag team evening gown match at WrestleMania XX, which they lost when Jackie was pinned by Wilson. After the feud was dropped afterwards, before the feud was dropped, all of the performers were playing face characters at the time. She took over the 2004 Raw Diva Search for a few weeks, which led to several tag matches against the heel gimmicks of Gail Kim, Trish Stratus and Molly Holly, with partners Nydia and the face gimmick of Victoria. Kiebler got upset victories over Kim, Stratus and Holly. She earned the Women's Championship title match on October 11, 2004, but was defeated by Stratus, who retained the title. Kiebler also competed in the first ever Fulfill Your Fantasy Diva Battle Royal for the WWE Women's Championship at Taboo Tuesday, along with Victoria, Nydia, Gail Kim and Molly Holly, Jazz, and then champion Stratus. She was eliminated second to last after jumping over the top rope to avoid being hit by turnbuckle, followed by Holly knocking her off the apron to eliminate her. In 2005, Kiebler began appearing backstage segments as a babyface Randy Orton and eventually became his on-screen girlfriend. Orton challenged The Undertaker at WrestleMania 21. Orton ended the relationship by hitting Stacey with an RKO. He justified it by claiming he was demonstrating how ruthless he could be in order to defeat The Undertaker. Kiebler then joined forces with Hurricane and Rosie. She became 1/3 of the trio as a superhero sidekick named Super Stacy, who competed with her own superhero costume. She was ringside during several matches as they defended their World Tag Team Championship. During this time, Kiebler feuded with on-screen then heel Victoria, including confrontations and mixed tag matches on Raw and single matches on Heat. After a long tenure on Monday nights, Kiebler and Chrissy Hemme moved to SmackDown as part of a trade for Tori Wilson and Candice Michelle. Kiebler participated in a laundry match and a bikini contest. After a short absence, Kiebler would have a short feud with Jillian Hall, which led to having matches on Velocity, which Kiebler lost. This would be Kiebler's final match for WWE. Kiebler then asked for time off to appear on Dancing with the Stars. During this time, Kiebler's WWE.com profile was moved to SmackDown to Raw, though she never made an appearance on the brand before leaving the company. Kiebler's final mention of WWE programming occurred on an episode of Raw, where she was insulted by Candice Michelle for placing third on Dancing with the Stars during Michelle's unveiling of her Playboy magazine cover. Also, after completing her stint on Dancing with the Stars, Kiebler officially parted ways with WWE in July of 2006 to move on with her endeavours. After leaving WWE in July 2006, Kiebler made a special guest appearance in WWE's reality show Tough Enough in 2011. Being a former NFL cheerleader, she helped prepare contestants to perform publicly at Universal Studios. Kiebler made a surprise induct Tori Wilson into the WWE Hall of Fame in 2021. WWE Network listed Kiebler as one of the women to make an impact on WWE outside of the ring. Kiebler was reported to enter the WWE Hall of Fame, being confirmed on March 27, 2023, and she was inducted by both Mick Foley and Tori Wilson at the official ceremony ahead of WrestleMania 39, appearing with fellow inductees on stage during the second night of the event. She also has had a modelling and acting career throughout the years, which I won't go into much because I think a lot of you won't be interested in what the acting part. But yeah, I quite like Stacey when I've gone back and watched some of her videos. I do think she's one of the very similar to Sable and Sunny in a way, but mainly she's like a bit more like Sable, where she's been like eye candy for men. on the show, just like Sable was, but also did go into wrestling a bit. Like quite a lot of them did back in those days. I do think she could have done a lot more wrestling wise if given the chance, but I think she was quite good as a valet, especially as a heel. Yeah, but if you comment who you quite liked, if you quite liked Stacey, or if you liked somebody else like Sable or Sonny or any of the other valets, I can't really think of any right now, because they're the main three I can think of. Tori was occasionally was one, Gillian Horton was. Yeah, so you just comment below who you preferred, and hope you enjoy this video.